The views expressed on the Warren and Bradley Show are not necessarily those held by the hosts, Warren and Bradley, nor those of the proprietors of the website, warrenandbradley.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
Let's make some magic.
It is magic time. Hello, and welcome once again to the Warren and Bradley Show. I'm one of your hosts, Bradley Victor.
I'm the other host, Warren Van.
Yes, indeed. It is episode 25 of the Warren and Bradley Show. We'll have a packed show for all of you here today. Looks like we might have a little That's How Women Are, Warren.
Oh, good.
Maybe a Street Freak of the Week.
Oh, fabulous.
And we might premiere a new feature for the audience. Ooh, they're going to be very excited about that. I was here in the Warren and Bradley studios, patiently waiting for Warren to show up to record the podcast. Where were you at, Warren? What took you so long?
I was celebrating Mother's Day. My brother-in-law, Ethan, fan of the show, wanted me to send a shout-out to him. So this is your shout-out.
Hey, Ethan.
Yes.
So he wanted to send a shout-out to himself.
Yeah, that's true. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think he just wanted his name mentioned on the podcast.
What a megalomaniac.
His name has been mentioned now. Yes, I hung out at my sister's, and we played a little croquet.
Croquet, nice.
Sat around and looked at magazines for a while, kicked a ball around for the dog. We threw a frisbee for a while, and the frisbees eventually went over the fence, and we couldn't get them.
You looked at a magazine?
We were looking at Sunset
gathering?
Magazine for a while. Everyone was just kind of looking at Sunset.
Like everyone
magazine.
as a family gathered around
There were a bunch
Sunset
of them.
magazine?
People were just like picking them up, just like looking at the magazine as we were spending time together.
Was your mother the only mother present at the Mother's Day
She was the only mother
celebration?
present, yes.
So that was all about her, just...
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. So did she have a fulfilling Mother's Day? Did she
I
feel
think she had a fine
appreciated?
time. Yeah, she had some flowers. We had some chicken burgers that were good.
No.
I ate some chips. I drank some soda, which I don't usually do. They have these smaller sodas now. Have you seen these? I don't know if they're like 6 ounces or 8 ounces.
the little
or something.
cans?
Yeah, the little cans.
Yeah.
So I drank some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those were pretty good.
I'm a fan of those. That's a normal serving to me.
Well,
of
that's what
soda.
I feel like. Sometimes if I like had a can of soda, I wouldn't like crack it open because that's more than I need to drink.
Right. And you can't put it in the fridge because
No, it just goes flat and it gets gross.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think if I had some of those in my house maybe and I had a meal, I might crack one of those open and drink some soda once in a while.
You know, that is why I drink one of the reasons why I love Dr. Pepper so much.
Yes.
I don't know, it's like a monster truck going by on the street outside. Because it is one of the few sodas that you can crack open, drink a little bit, put in the fridge, and when you drink it again, even if it's a little flat, it doesn't ruin the taste like a bunch of other sodas.
Really? You
Yeah.
feel that way? It's about Dr. Pepper?
Oh, yeah. Dr. Pepper is the perfect soda. Yeah, I had a little Mother's Day gathering for mine as well. Some of the siblings took her out to lunch. My other one fucked off to Seattle.
Who did?
My older brother.
Oh, really?
He couldn't be bothered being in town for Mother's Day.
Oh, he's a listener of the show. We should shame him.
He's out of the
Shame
way.
on you.
And then when I was waiting for you, I was working on a bumper for one of our new segments, which will premiere later, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. Did your mother have a good Mother's Day?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of, we've gone past the point of flowers and cards, and now it's just we take her out to a meal, and we pay for it. And then basically, I think she's just thrilled to see us all in one place.
I never thought about this before, but the fact that I have some siblings, you have more siblings than me.
Yeah.
None of us have any children.
No.
So our parents have no grandchildren.
No.
No kids.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever going to happen.
No.
I won't get into all the personal details of everyone in my family, but it doesn't look very likely at all right now. I still think that I might have kids eventually. I can't really imagine the set of circumstances that would have to be in place for that actually to happen, but it's just sort of in the air. I could see that maybe.
Yeah, it could happen potentially. But I think probably in the past, if we were our age, if you were your father or I was my father, we would be celebrating our wife at this point with our children. That's how we would celebrate our Mother's Day usually.
Yeah.
But since we have this sort of prolonged adolescence that we're going through.
Yeah, my dad had 3 or 4 kids by my age.
Yeah, so now we go...
And the oldest was a teenager. I think that's it's just a trend of modern society.
Yes.
People wait way longer to have kids if they do have kids. And, and we've talked about this before. We are men, so we could be 50 and have a child if we wanted to. It's not a big deal. I'm sure my mom is hoping she's still alive by the time one of us has a kid.
When we're getting 50, they're getting pretty old at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents are younger than yours, but...
Yeah, I think that's right.
Because they had children when they were like 20. Ridiculous.
I was thinking about this the other day. That if I had like a child when I was 16, the child would be like graduated from high school this year.
Yeah.
Which is just a fascinating thing to think about.
Yeah, it's weird to think of having a child that is the age at which you could start considering them to be sexually attractive. Not that you would...
That went a weird direction.
Not that you would consider your own child sexually attractive, but you don't know how old people are when they're... I'm digging myself a hole here. Yeah. You don't know how old people are when they're walking around. You see someone who's like 18, and you're like, yeah, she's attractive.
Yeah.
But you're not thinking, I might potentially date that person or anything. But, it's sexual maturity, yada, yada, yada.
Yes, okay.
And so, yeah, if we had we have mentioned this before, I think, that if we had kids as soon as we were physically able to have kids, our kids would be at that age. Yeah. So you would potentially be hitting on my daughter. Or it's probably more likely the other way around. But
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to think about.
So this isn't the Street Freak of the Week that I've selected for Street Freak of the Week, but I had an interesting experience today. I was after the Mother's Day lunch that I had. Yeah, it was a beautiful day, so I thought I'd wander around a bit. I got some coffee and was wandering around downtown. I have this kind of strange habit of just standing on corners and staring at people while they walk by. Yeah. Not like a homeless person does. But maybe that is why I encounter so many homeless people, because I'm in their spot. I'm in their environment, yeah. But actually, I went into the fish store to go look at some fish.
Oh, yeah.
Not dead fish, but live fish.
Yes.
I like to do that.
Not the fishmonger, the actual pet store.
And I was in there, they have dozens and dozens of tanks. They have the salt water and the fresh water and blah, blah, blah. And I was checking out an eel, a freshwater eel I was looking at.
Really?
He's like, oh, come out of your log, you bastard. And he would peek his head out every once in a while. And I was just waiting for him to come out. And then this crazy homeless dude who I'm sure you've probably seen around town wandered into the store.
Yeah.
He used to dress in exceedingly tight jeans, almost as tight as the jeans I wear.
Oh, my.
And would often go shirtless with a rakish jean jacket. Had kind of a white man's blonde afro, sort of like Hotel California era Eagles Don Henley.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen him around.
It sounds vaguely familiar,
But today he was wearing kind of baggier pants, and he had a blue windbreaker, still with no shirt on underneath, and just open.
Yeah.
He wandered in. He walked up to one of the fish tanks near me and started tapping on the glass.
Don't do that. You're not supposed to do that.
I'm like, come on, dude, tapping on the glass, and I could see the fish freaking out in there. Because, they have their lateral line sensory organ that gets freaked out with any kind of pulses going through the water. And so I was getting irritated by this, so I went, and he didn't pay any attention. He kept just still tapping the glass. So I said, you know what, don't tap the glass. They don't like that.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? The fish, it actually causes them pain. They don't like the glass to be tapped like that. It's like, he tapped it some more. I'm like, no, seriously, stop tapping the glass.
Oh.
Fine, fucking fish. And then he flipped off the fish in the fish tank.
Oh, he flipped the fish off?
Oh, yeah, he was angry at the fish. And then after this exchange, which was not at all pleasant.
No.
He could tell that I was angry at him.
Yes.
And he was being a little dick to me.
Yeah.
He then asked me if I had any money. He proceeded to show me a little wad of bills that he had collected and said that he only needed $3 more to buy some weed.
Huh. So you thought you were just going to give him $3 after that?
And so I gave him the whole, I don't have any change right now.
You say you just had your debit card?
I didn't say it this time. I just said I didn't have any change. And he's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And he wandered out. And I thought, okay, whatever. Walked outside and was standing on the corner, smoking, drinking coffee, staring at people going by. He walked up again, but this time there was a bike cop right next to me. He was fiddling with his little bicycle. It was so hilarious.
It's very condescending.
Hey, stop you. And he came up to me again and said, yeah, I'm still trying to buy weed. And said it really loudly and showed me the wad of money. And the cop looks at us And so obviously to the cop, there's this weird homeless dude who's actually rather young too, which is strange. He's like 20, I don't know, he's in his mid-20s maybe. And so he could be maybe just like a kind of grungy hipster.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there on the street corner smoking, and there's some weirdo asking me or saying that he still is looking to buy weed and showing me money, holding money out to me. The cop looks at me and kind of goes, he puts his hands out like, what the fuck are you doing this in front of me for? I look at the cop like, no. And the guy just like finally notices the cop and just goes, whoop, and turns around and walks away. And the cop is kind of like, should I go after this guy? He was, I don't know if he was fiddling with his bike pump or something like that. And so that guy tried to borrow money from me earlier because he said he was buying weed and he wasn't trying to buy it from me and blah, blah, blah.
You actually explained this to the cop?
I was sort of trying to explain to the cop. He didn't seem to care that much, but...
I don't think they're that interested in that here in Bellingham.
I don't know. It was pretty brazen, though, right in front of the policeman, and put me in a rather awkward position.
Oh, I can see that. On my way over here, I saw a scooter pulled over by a police officer.
A scooter?
Yeah, like a little scooter.
You're just speeding down the road.
Well, I was wondering what he could have been doing. It was a very small scooter. He couldn't have been going that fast.
50cc.
Yeah, and this guy sort of has like fringed coat on. He was really going for some look or something. And the cop was like talking to him. Uh-huh. And the guy was sort of agitated, but the guy was still sitting on the scooter.
Right.
So I guess it's one of those things.
Step out of the scooter, sir.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Do you like if you get off, you pull somebody over, and you're like, stay on the scooter? If you're like, stay in the car?
I don't know.
It must be, right?
Put your hands on the handlebars.
You keep your hands out and like straddle your scooter, straddle your motorcycle when you get. Have you ever seen a motorcycle pulled over?
I don't think I have.
I assume if they pull them over, they tell them to stay on their motorcycle.
I guess. But, well, yeah, because if you were just pulled over speeding and you just suddenly got out of your car, they would not like that.
No, they are always like, stay in your car.
They're just always so freaked out by the slightest thing. And I guess I can understand because some people might have a gun and shoot them. Well, that's because of the fact that people like shoot them.
But
I don't know. I mean, I've been pulled over before and went to reach for my pocket because he asked for my license.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm getting my license. And he's like, hey, oh! Where the fuck do you think my license is? It's in my wallet. My wallet's in my ass. Well, it's in my ass pocket, not actually in the ass itself.
You know what that is. That's from dealing all day with, like, criminals.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you get to a point where you're just, like, really jumpy because you never know what they're going to do.
And you never know when a film crew is going to be there. And
you never know a film. You know, they could be recording this. They need to be very professional. They need to be very safe. They don't want to get shot or stabbed by some crazy person that they just pulled over.
Or was that from Cops?
All are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
In a court of law. It sounds like our announcer did that.
What you gonna do? Ooh, that was a weird show, wasn't it?
Yeah, I still can't really figure out the legality of that. Seems kind of strange.
The show was just like they play that song. They'd show like a thing that says they're in Topeka.
Yeah.
And then they just show a cop be like, yeah, this is not a nice part of Topeka. And the next thing you know, you'd see some guy without a shirt like running down the street trying to jump over a fence.
The only thing that show taught me as a kid was that basically everywhere in the country is a shithole. Because they'd be in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah.
And it would just be the most disgusting, like, drug-ridden jungle I had ever seen in my life.
Well, I know I've had this experience with my father. He watch Cops. And then every time I tell him I was going somewhere, I'm like, I'm going to visit this place. He's like, I'm going to go there. Because, you know what I mean? Because all he's seen is what goes on in Cops. Which is basically a bunch of, like, crackheads running around, you know, trying to get away from the police everywhere.
I just love the fact that, you know, sometimes the perpetrators would have their faces blurred out. And I guess that would mean that they didn't sign the release to be in
people
Cops.
Are the ones that don't have their faces
and then there would
out.
be people who weren't blurred out, which obviously means, okay, the crazy meth head who beat his wife and was running down the street in his, like, tighty whities.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, be on television. There you go. It just seemed very odd to me. And even if they didn't sign a release, you still have the person there. I think most of his friends and family would be able to tell that that was the person, you know, with his, like, cut-off jeans and beer belly and the tattoo that says live free or die on his belly.
Yeah.
Even though his face is blurred out, I'm pretty
sure.
Tell. Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading an article earlier today about the diagnosis of children as psychopaths, and they were talking about how it's sort of a stigmatizing diagnosis. And I was like, well, I can see how that would be. But they sort of had a picture of the kid that they were talking about, and that you could see, like, the top of his face, sort of. You know what I mean? They sort of, like, didn't show the bottom, but you're like, I can tell who that kid is.
Did the top of his face look psychotic?
He looked a little wacky.
What does a child psychopath do? They're not murdering neighbors and keeping them in their basement.
They're the kind of, they talked about one that was cutting off portions of the cat's tail systematically over months just to see what would happen.
That is always a good sign. Kids who torture animals.
Kids who torture animals you don't have any empathy.
Exactly.
But I guess there's a difference between the psychopathic kids and the kids that are just like have impulse control problems. So psychopathic kids will actually like, someone will like take their toy from them and they'll like act perfectly normal and then walk away and like plot to like horribly injure them like 2 weeks later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they have no remorse. They're just all about like feeding their own needs. And they were trying to figure out a way to like, what can we do with these kids? You know what I mean? We got to fix them. But so far, they don't really know what to do.
Yeah, I don't think you can. There's that whole thing of some people are just born evil. And I'm not saying that these kids are necessarily evil, but sometimes people are just fucked up.
The article...
All you can do is mitigate the harm they can do.
The research, brain research that was showing that a lot of it is genetic and it's being passed down. There are certain parts of the brain that were less developed in these like psychopathic kids, things to like feel empathy and stuff like that. And they're trying to figure out ways to maybe like intellectually teach them to feel empathy or at least act in that way and stuff, because, you know, 20 years later they're doing who God knows what.
Yeah.
One of the other things that the kids couldn't do was like tell if someone else was scared.
Right.
Like they had no sense of that. And yeah.
It's almost like Asperger's or autism kind of, where you can't read the emotional cues from other people and you can't replicate those.
They can learn how to do it because intellectually they're fine, but they just don't care.
Right.
They just will treat you like you're a robot or you're an animal. You're just like a means to an end to them. Yeah. Which is really creepy when you think about maybe like Hannibal Lecter or something.
Yeah.
But then you think about like the 9-year-old in the other room. You're like, ugh, it's chilling to think about having a psychopathic child running around. Ugh.
It'd be a very liberating way to live, I guess. You don't have to worry about anybody else.
Well, certain elements of it reflect like stoicism, right?
Right.
Because you're not trying to control your emotions, you know, and not be dominated by your emotions. But the golden rule is pretty important. I think as far as if you're living in society, the golden rule is like the most important rule.
If you would not like to be devoured.
Exactly.
Yourself.
Or don't, you know what I mean? You recognize the fact that other people are people too in the same way you're a person, and you treat them in a way you would like to be treated. And
well, it's just there's certain things that are innate in people where regardless of what your morality might be, what your religion or what society you live in, there's certain things that you know are wrong if you're normal.
Yes.
And if you don't have that, then I just don't know what the fuck you do.
I don't know.
Because you could be a psychopath and never kill anybody because you just, even if you don't care whether or not you kill somebody.
Well, you can be a psychopath and probably never break the law, too, depending on what you're trying to do. But in the article, they mentioned that maybe Bernie Madoff showed some signs of this, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like absolutely no concern about other people at all. And like, yeah, it's a disturbing trend. But every time I see, like, the Silence of the Lamb movies, all I want, or the whole Hannibal, all those movies, I just want somebody to kill him the entire time. Yeah. Every time I see a psychopath, and this kid, too, I was thinking about, it's like, why won't someone just, like, smother this kid now? What? In a sense, because it's like
Are you sure you're not a psychopath?
I don't know, but I'm worried about all the non-psychopaths out there that have to deal with these psychopaths. It's troubling.
In a simpler time, we would have just slaughtered them all. But then who's the psychopath?
We would have said the 9-year-old kid was possessed with the demon, probably, right? And like drowned it or something.
Yeah, probably. Or thrown him in a lake, and if he floated, he wasn't possessed by a demon, and if he drowned, like everyone would, then he's fine.
He went to heaven, knew everything was fine. Yeah.
Because his soul is still pure at that age.
Oh yeah. Remember when we were in the old Christian school back in the day?
Oh yeah.
And, it was very emphasized that, make sure you're saving your neighbors because they're all going to go to hell unless they accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior.
Right.
And then there was always the thing where you bring up, like, what about, like, the Pygmy tribes people? And they're like, well... And I always remember the explanation being, like, if you had a chance to hear about it, you had to choose. But if you never heard about it, you were fine? Which isn't biblical, is it? But it was just the way it was explained to us when we were children.
It's them trying to fudge something that can't really be fudged, I guess. No. Because if poor little Abubakar is out hunting a wild boar and the missionary is giving a little speech in the center of the tribe and he just happened to miss it, he could have been there to hear it, but he decided to go out hunting. Yeah. So does that mean Abubakar is going to go to fucking hell?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oops. It's sort of a tribute to a child's innate ability to, like, think through something.
Right.
For some reason, adults can't
when
think through.
Your mind isn't clouded by all the other bullshit. You go to the pure
You're like, wait a second.
Here.
You told me this one thing. It needs to apply in this other way to all these other people. What happens there?
I was always told that kids go to heaven, because they're not old enough to make a choice for themselves. And then in terms of the poor tribesmen of Bubaka, it basically, I was told several different things by different people. Some people are like, fuck them, they're going to hell. Some people were saying that even if a missionary never came to a Bubaka, that God would have revealed himself to him in some way. But,
yeah, I remember hearing that from somebody too, which is
rough.
just
a Bubaka.
Bubaka to me, and it's like, hey, I would have accepted things if it actually made a difference to me.
If God actually, appeared to me and spoke to me, or I would think that I was on some sort of
having a delusion. But I know in the Catholic Church, isn't it, the babies go to like some sort of purgatory or something?
Yeah, and then, I'm not sure exactly how that, I think non-believers who were never exposed to Christianity go to purgatory, and they can be tortured for a while, and then their soul becomes pure enough to go to heaven after being tortured.
That's rough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know. No one told me. I was out hunting, and then I got killed by that like lion, and suddenly I'm here getting tortured. This is not fair.
Gored him to death.
Yeah.
Or the warthog, maybe. Maybe we should go right into Celebrity Minute and get that out of the way.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this right now. It's Celebrity Minute time.
Celebrity Minute on the Warren and Bradley Show.
So, for our very first story for this week's Celebrity Minute, John Travolta. I don't know if any of you heard earlier stories throughout the week, but there were two masseurs who came forward accusing John Travolta of inappropriate behavior while receiving massages from these masseurs. And then later on in the week, a third man came out accusing Travolta of sexual misconduct. Apparently, he made these accusations in a video posted to YouTube. He alleged that while working on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in May of 2009, Travolta approached him requesting to have sexual relations. He allegedly approached him wearing a robe, which he then took off, revealing his naked body. The man goes on to claim that Travolta offered him money for sexual relations, but he refused. And this is also added to the masseurs who claim that while giving him private massages in his hotel room, he would take off his towel, lift his buttocks in the air, and spread his buttocks, revealing the anus.
Wow.
He would try to make contact with the men's scrotums and the shafts of their penises.
Wow.
All of these... Okay, it's three different people accusing Travolta. I know that there have been rumors for years that Travolta is gay.
I'll say this. I don't seek out a lot of rumors about celebrities.
Right.
I'm about as close as you can be to 100% sure before this that John Travolta was gay, from what I've heard.
Right. But that being the case, because these rumors exist, it is also very conceivable that these people just think they can get a payday because they know that it's something that people might believe. But then we also have a fourth story here.
At some point you have to start
This
wondering.
came out tomorrow, actually. Or tomorrow. It came out on Saturday. John Travolta once banned from Peninsula Hotel Spa. This was on Us Magazine. A fourth masseur has come forward with sexual misconduct allegations against John Travolta. Former Peninsula Hotel employee Michael Caputo tells the New York Daily News the actor 58 was placed on the Swanky Hotel Spa's blacklist for over 3 years because of inappropriate behavior around spa staff. Travolta would always request a man for his massage, but after a while, no one would take him. It finally got to the point where they couldn't find any men to take him, and they had to ban him. According to Caputo, male employees accused the star of removing his towel, grinding against the massage table, and lifting his butt in the air. These are signs to a massage therapist he was trying to see how much he could get away with. So that's not normal, apparently, when you're getting a massage. They went to the management. Following a complaint to hotel officials, Caputo says Travolta was eventually removed from the blacklist. Reps for Travolta are saying this is all bullshit. They're saying that he was never banned. And for some of the other accusers, when they were saying that these incidents had happened, they're claiming that Travolta wasn't even in the city that they claimed that it happened in. So who the fuck knows?
I'll say this, too, about John Travolta. I believe that he's doing things like this. I don't know if he's doing anything inappropriate to anybody.
Right.
Why isn't he just going to the places where this goes on and is accepted?
Right, exactly. Like, if you are... the sad thing is that he feels the need to hide this if he is actually gay, but, you know, whatever. Movies being what they are and leading men.
The thing that makes me wonder about is the fact that he seems this seems to be his like way, what he's into.
Yeah, see, because there are gay prostitutes who won't get angry when you try to have sex with them for money. They actually want you to have sex with them for money.
But the other thing I wonder about, isn't there like massage parlors that people would know would be a place for this?
Right.
So like if I went to a massage parlor here in Bellingham and I was like demanding a happy ending, people would be like, what, are you kidding me? And I was like, oh, I saw it on TV. But I would look for one of the ones that had the like Asian woman that would actually do that. And I go to that one and demand it, right?
Right.
He seems to be going to actual massage places and then being like, hey, here, I'm set.
Well, I think he's falling into the trap. He's falling into the trap that I would fall into if I were a closet gay. Because I assume that any guy who has ads in like weekly magazines saying that he gives massages is actually a gay prostitute. And maybe he's just falling into that same trap.
But this thing, he's going to a spa.
Well, one of them was in a spa. A couple were just, I think, independent contractors.
Okay, now I'm starting to agree. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because
isn't that code? Like if you're, well, and usually they'll say male clients only or something like that. Not that I know anything about this, but
okay, this is true because, like, yeah, why would you do that if you were like a straight guy? Why would you be like, I'm gonna like have a man come to my house and like rub me down?
Yeah.
And I have to make sure it's a man.
Yeah.
It seems, it would be kind of code, wouldn't it? These guys, I'm on Travolta's side on this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Depends on what I'd like to see how it comes out.
Yeah.
But
if there's any actual proof, I thought I saw something about some credit card receipt or something, but I wasn't able to find the story. But nobody's asked Kelly Preston what she thinks of this yet. But are they still even married?
Yeah, this is the weird dynamic with this, right?
Yeah.
Kelly Preston never struck me as a very intelligent person. You know what I mean? She just doesn't give you that vibe. But you think she's in denial about this? She must know.
I think for most of these marriages, like, I'm not throwing any stones here, but Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes, things like that.
Yes.
I think often, if it is a sham marriage, what they get out of it, I imagine it is like, okay, we both have careers. We both want to advance our careers.
Yes.
I don't want this coming out that I'm gay because, unfortunately, that might mean that I get fewer leading roles.
Yes.
I wouldn't be considered somebody who could be a love interest in a movie. So you want your career to be advanced as well. I'm a bigger star than you. We get married, drum up publicity.
Yes.
We'll share a house. You can do whatever you want. I'll expose my genitals to masseurs.
That's what I'm into.
Lift my buttocks on the massage table. And, live and let live. I think
fine.
If this is actually happening, then that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Next story. Oh my God, Warren.
Wow. Russell Brand unfollows Katy Perry on Twitter.
Dun dun dun. This is another example of a completely pointless and shallow story about celebrities. They're getting divorced. Divorce isn't final yet. Russell Brand unfollowed her on Twitter. She unfollowed him immediately after the end of the relationship. Now he's only following 77 people on Twitter.
77?
Yeah.
The Warren and Brad show? One of them?
We are not one of them.
Oh.
Maybe we will be eventually. Maybe we'll replace Katy Perry as the
He's
people
been sending out a lot of weird tweets to celebrities occasionally.
Yeah.
You ever send anything to him?
I don't know. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Russell Brand, follow at Warren and Brad, and you can get updates on the show. And if we ever talk about you, we'll give you a little heads up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll text you.
Here's a good one. Octomom.
Octomom, yeah.
To tanning mom. You need to take parenting classes.
That seems unfair.
Oh, I hate both these people. It's hard to decide who I hate more.
Yeah. This is the thing, right? It's if you want to be weird, you go right ahead. Just don't bring the kids into it. Don't bring the kids into your weirdness.
The thing that pisses me off about both of these people, I mean, obviously the tanning mom, I can understand why there's why that's a story,
Yes.
You're burning your little child in a tanning bed.
Yeah.
But then the fact that Nadia Suleiman, or whatever the fuck her name is still in the news is so annoying to me. She was like posing topless in some magazine recently.
Really?
In this interview I was reading, she was saying how she can't believe that Child Protective Services was called on her, but tanning mom gets away with it, which she's not getting away with it because she's being tried for child endangerment. But then she's also saying that she's considering porn if it means that she can support her family. I don't want to see the saggy boobs, stretch-marked, crazy Octomom in a porn movie. Just shut the fuck up and go away. Sell some of your kids and just get a little house somewhere and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You're a terrible person, both of you. We're judging both of you.
All right. That's enough for Celebrity Minute.
And that's a wrap. That's enough for Celebrity Minute.
This has been Celebrity Minute on the Warren and Bradley Show.
This has been Celebrity Minute on the Warren and Bradley Show.
Warren, I know you're going to be very excited.
Oh, am I?
It's time for Street Freak of the Week.
Woo!
They wander the streets, scavenging for loose change and discarded cigarette butts.
Bear $1.
And give me a motherfucking cigarette.
I ran out of gas ways back.
You smoke weed, don't you?
Good, usually cut.
I could use some change.
They may be mentally unstable and deserving of our charity, but that doesn't mean they can't be selected as the Warren and Bradley Show Street Freak of the Week.
All right, this Street Freak of the Week is almost unbelievable.
Oh, no.
No, it's actually true. This actually happened.
This guy didn't have a Warren and Bradley Show t-shirt
No.
on or something,
It
right?
has nothing to do with some sort of weird meta thing where the people know about our show or
Okay,
anything like that.
good.
It was late last night. Mm-hmm. I didn't go out. I went to bed rather early, actually, and was attempting to sleep. At approximately 3 in the morning, I was awoken by the sound of shouting outside my window. And as people may or may not know, I live in Bumtown in Bellingham. There's lots of homeless people around. Mostly don't give you any trouble, but there were 2 gentlemen last night down on the street in front of the drop-in center, which distributes free food to the homeless,
Yeah.
which was not open at the time.
No.
But they were arguing. They were having some sort of altercation. They were very angry at each other. I could just hear this like, and then another, and so of course I raised my little head, looked out the window, and saw these 2 guys. They were sort of kind of prancing around each other. Well, I don't know if prancing, maybe
Like
shuffling.
circling around each other,
Yeah.
like they're arguing or getting ready to fight. or
Exactly.
something?
They're
Yeah.
you know where they're not quite sure if they want to get into it or not,
Yeah.
but they're kind of trying to do the little display of aggression, as much energy as they could muster, being in the state that they were in, sort of shuffling and and so I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, bum
And,
fight, possibly a bum fight.
Well,
That's
and
great.
see, this is the thing. I've always thought that was horrible. The whole bum fight or homeless fight thing, where people would actually pay homeless people money.
No,
and
it's
have them fight
terrible.
each other.
You don't
It's
wanna
an
pay
awful,
homeless people.
Awful, horrible
But if
thing.
let's say if 2 homeless people theoretically are going to fight, and you can either witness it or not, you'd rather witness it.
You'd rather witness it, but you don't take video of it and post it on the internet.
No.
That's wrong.
You only use the story of it to profit on your podcast.
And then the video you just use for your own personal
Yes.
amusement. So anyway, I was like, okay, maybe they're going to fight here. And they just kept arguing and circling and arguing and circling until one of them said something to the effect of like, "You're really pissing me off."
Yeah.
The other one said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to piss on you."
Oh,
And he started to unbutton his pants.
yes.
And start taking Mr. Penis out.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't see the penis
Yeah.
per se, but I could tell that there was
Something going on down there.
This is like, it was on the same block, but I'm 2 stories up, whatever.
Yeah.
He takes his pants off, well, not off, but takes them down. The other guy's like, "Oh yeah." He starts unbuttoning his pants too. So I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a piss fight here. And so then they're circling each other, holding their penises as though they're about to piss on each other. And it was basically like about a 5-minute naked penis dance. And I don't think either of them actually had a piss on deck.
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened if it like, how do you win a piss fight?
It's tricky.
Is it just like who gets it in the face? Who gets it? Because I would imagine they'd just piss all over
I don't think there's any
themselves.
winners in a piss fight.
No, not really.
And don't you feel like if I'm going to piss, I kind of have to like relax a little bit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you like aggressively be
an
in like a
aggressive,
fight
angry
and then
piss.
like aggressively piss on somebody?
I don't know. You always see that there's things in movies where the ultimate insult is to piss on your enemy,
Yeah.
and they always just have one ready. It's like, all right, I'm going to piss on your back, and they just, they're just right there, and there's no shyness or anything. All the
Yeah.
soldiers are standing around with their spears and halberds.
But even I, like, if I go to like a urinal and
Yeah.
I'm standing there, it's harder for me to like get going if there's people like standing around because I'm kind of like, I gotta pee. But it's like I'm not by myself and I feel weird about it.
No, I don't think I really have that trouble.
You don't feel like at all you can just step right in and just let it rip?
If I were in a piss fight, I could probably piss on somebody because I have to piss all the time anyway.
Oh, that's right. You have that pissing thing.
Yeah.
I don't have to piss very often, but I guess I could if I had to. So no pissing, actually. You don't think so?
I couldn't really. I mean, it was dark, but from their reactions, I don't think any piss actually happened. They might have pissed themselves.
It reminds me of the story about the homeless man in the bush who said he was going to fuck you and then started to take his pants
Right.
down. And I think it's like the ultimate act of aggression maybe in the bum community to be like, Now I'm taking my junk out. What are you going to do about that?
Because usually they piss themselves. I guess it's worse to have somebody else's urine on you than your own.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Eating a lot of asparagus and B vitamins. Take that, motherfucker. So, congratulations, Mr. Urinating Homeless People. You've been selected as the Street Freak of the Week.
Dual Street Freaks of the Week.
Yeah, the Street Freaks of the Week.
Yeah, there you go.
Our hats are off to you, Mr. Homeless Man, because you've been selected as the Warren and Bradley Show Street Freak of the Week.
All right, then. Now it's time to premiere a new feature that I'm sure everyone's going to be very, very excited about. I was actually recently reading reviews of a new documentary that's going to be coming out soon by Morgan Spurlock, the director who did Super Size Me and Where in the World is Osama bin Laden. And this new documentary is called Mansome, Mansome. It's a portmanteau of man and handsome.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And basically it's all about male grooming in modern society and the importance of, is it still important to look virile and manly, and what facial hair means and what it used to mean. And I don't know, it's sort of a funny take on the whole metrosexual thing and how, you know, men groom themselves. And it got me to thinking about the whole beard situation.
Yes.
I haven't grown a beard really ever. I think the longest I've ever gone without shaving is just a couple weeks. And that's, you can't get a really good beard going.
No.
But I started thinking, can I grow an actual manly, virile beard? And so Warren and I got together and we decided that we're going to have a beard off.
It's a motherfucking beard off, yo! It's the Warren and Bradley Show, Beard Off 2012. Two men enter, only one can emerge victorious, as Warren and Bradley pit one set of whiskers against the other in the ultimate test of follicular fortitude. The rules are simple. No trimming, shaving, pruning, or plucking for one entire month, at the end of which we'll find out who's a man and who's a testosterone-deficient ladyboy.
Yes, indeed. It is the Warren and Bradley Show Beard Off 2012. Basically, Warren and I are going to not shave for an entire month. We're starting here on Sunday, the 13th. This is when we're actually recording the show. Warren is clean-shaven today. I'm going to go and shave myself as well. Not right this minute, but later on. We will take pictures of the before. And then every week, every subsequent week, we will take pictures showing our progress. And if you want to get involved in the Beard Off as well...
Oh, this is interesting.
Yes. We will post a link on Facebook, or at least... we'll have a link on Facebook and probably on the website as well, where you can send pictures and updates on your beardiness. And then at the end of the month, we will post the actual final beard picture. I don't even know what day that will be, but after a month... Warren and I will take the final picture of our beards. We will post that online, and then you, the listeners, can vote on who has the most manly and virile beard.
I think I'm going to lose.
I don't know, because I think I have better coverage than you. I think.
Yes,
but you get a fucking kick-ass goatee going.
Yeah, but the beard is the side.
Yeah, but I don't see, because I have this weird half blonde, half black thing. It looks kind of patchy. I don't know if I'm going to grow like a full-looking nice beard. I have no idea. I've never tried to grow it out.
We're not allowed
before.
to dye our beards at all, are we?
No dyeing, no trimming, nothing at all. I mean, after the month, you can keep your beard if you want, but you're only going to be judged on that last picture.
So you can't trim your beard or do anything to it?
No.
See, this isn't a problem for me.
So neck hair, nothing.
Yeah.
Like my hair, it goes all the way down my neck. So I'm
I'll
going to
go
look
3
like a
months
fucking weirdo.
without even thinking about it, and I'll just have my hair growing everywhere. And you know what I mean? You're more fastidious about your appearance.
Yeah, it's going to be much
hard
worse
for you
me.
to go an entire month without
Right.
like touching your face.
And I'm going to be feeling completely unattractive to all ladies. But this is another part of the experiment that I wanted to try, is that, you know, I was reading things about how some women do find men with beards more attractive, and that even women who claim they don't, there's something in them where they see this inherent virility in a man who has a beard. It shows that they're sexually mature and able to reproduce. And so
Did
maybe
you use the word virility?
virility? I thought I said virility. Maybe I was
Virility
combining fertility and virility.
It's a perfect word.
Oh.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? It's like fertile, virulent, healthy.
All right, it's a new word.
Strong seed.
So my virility, and maybe they'll recognize this, and the ladies will come a-flocking. I have noticed that when I do have any facial hair, if I have let it grow for a couple weeks, I get more respect.
Just from people in general?
Just for people in general.
Like the person that works at McDonald's or something?
Yeah, people will be more likely to say, excuse me, if they bump into you, oh, excuse me, sir. And they walk away, and you'd be like, yeah, damn right, excuse me.
Oh, do you think it's because your attitude changes when you have a beard?
I think they can just tell that there's testosterone coursing through you and that you could just snap at any moment. I think I do look angry when I have a beard. I look angry normally, but I look more angry with a beard.
Huh. Yeah, I have that problem when I shave my head.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks I look really angry.
So basically, I hope everyone is very excited about this. I know we are. Well, I'm not really, because it's probably going to be miserable. But
I won't even remember it's going on. And then a month in, I'll be like, time. And I'll be like, what?
Well, I will remind you. And we'll be taking weekly photos. We'll put on the website, probably on the Facebook page as well. And like I said, if you want to get involved, take some pictures, send them to podcast@warrenandbradley.com.
And if you sexy ladies out there,
yeah, if any of you are hirsute and can grow some beards as well. And also just put in the subject line, beard off. And then we'll know that, because we get so many emails. The volume of emails, we can't go through them all.
Through
all that shit looking for one little thing. And also put the days of growth. So if it's like the first picture, first day, write that. If it's the second week, write that.
Yeah.
And then we'll put you on there too. We're not going to vote on you because we don't really care. But yeah,
we might vote on you.
We'll vote on you.
Who knows? You might get a lot of attention if you actually do this. You might.
You probably will.
Yeah,
we'll probably talk about you a lot.
Yeah, you'll probably get talked about a lot if you actually participate in this with us.
So there you go. It's the Warren and Bradley Show Beard Off 2012. So recently I was reading a story about a man who was given 3 months to live because he had a terminal illness. And you always hear these stories of people, they're diagnosed with some terminal disease, and then they're just so courageous. And, they just lived their lives to the fullest for those last 3 months. And people are always so admiring of their courage and their fortitude. But this guy went crazy, robbed a bank, tried to get his wife to shoot him to get insurance money, apparently. She refused.
For who?
For her.
Wait,
which doesn't work. If you murder your husband, you don't get the insurance money.
That's the worst plan ever.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he went off the deep end a little bit. And it started making me think, if I were actually diagnosed with a terminal illness, let's say I had some sort of inoperable brain tumor or something, and it wouldn't affect my quality of life for those 3 months.
But you're just going to drop dead.
Yeah. After 3 months, I'm just gone.
Yeah.
How would I react? How would I live my life? And the question can go to you too, Warren. Like, how would you take the news to begin with? How would your life change? Would it change?
It's rough, isn't it?
And it's not the kind of thing where you might have some hope. It's basically no hope whatsoever.
3 months and you're done.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Part of me, it's like, I wouldn't want to just sit around here, and like wallow in my misery.
Doing what you usually do?
Yeah. No way I would go to work ever again.
But how would you support yourself?
Yeah, I could make it for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
People might give you charitable donations as well.
Yes, I'm sure. They'd be like, we don't want you to have to work, even though you're able-bodied. Here's some...
Oh.
Because can you imagine, like, the 3 months is coming out of, like, 2 months and, like, 3 weeks, and I'm still, like, at work? You know what I mean? People are like, ugh. Next week we're gonna have you replaced, or you're like training the person that's gonna fill in for you. There's no way that's gonna happen. But the thing that I kind of want to do, it's like, I'd like to go travel, maybe. You know what I mean?
Do you have a bucket list of things that you want to do before you die?
Yes. Oh, actually, that's the one thing I really wanted to do was go to all 50 states. So,
really? Seems like a horrible thing to do.
So I definitely go to the last few states I need to go to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely do that.
How many states do you have left?
8.
Really?
So it shouldn't take that long.
And so does it count if you've just driven through a state?
If I set foot in the state, I count the state. So I'd hit my that's a weird thing. Just go to these random states and like stand on them and be like, I'm going to die soon, Maine. What do you think of that? And they're like, wow, that's great. Oh, but I definitely probably would do that. That would be fun.
What else? Shallow sexual encounters. Would you engage the dark side of your personality a little bit, knowing that there's no repercussions anymore?
Well, I don't think I have any dark impulses.
Really?
To do, like, what would I do?
I don't know.
Do you have any dark impulses? Is there something you want to do that's, like, society, like, frowns upon that you don't do because you're going to live for another 20 years, probably?
I don't want to necessarily inflict any violence upon people.
Good.
But I might engage in some property destruction.
Like specific people?
No, not of specific people, but just, maybe shoot up a grocery store or something.
Oh, that's
like
right.
that.
You like to shoot like things up.
Yeah.
Shoot up a grocery store. So, I mean, would you like break into a grocery store at night and just shoot it up and then run away?
I might.
But the risk you're taking there is that you might be arrested and then
Spend the next 3 months, last 3 months of my life in
and
jail.
like dealing with lawyers and like being like, I gotta get out.
You're just, I'm going to die in 3 months. Oh, okay.
But there's no way they're gonna let you out because they're like, well, look what he did.
What else
He
could
shot
you
up
do?
this grocery store.
Yeah.
He's gonna shoot up something else next.
Well, maybe a friend of mine would take the fall because they knew I only had 3 months to live.
Do I have to take the
But I
fall?
don't know. I was trying to think of things that are so important to me that I accomplished before, and I can't really think of much.
Seems like we'd probably be trying to accomplish them right now if they're so important to us.
Probably. And that's what always occurs to me when people talk about their bucket list. If these things are so important to you, then why wait until you're going to die? Do it.
Well, it gets to the whole root of human existence, which is the fact that it's pointless. So it's like, you have a bucket list because what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what ends up happening is you just end up just living your boring life and just like muddling through the entire time. It'd probably be a pretty exciting 3 months if you weren't completely sad about it. I mean, as soon as you went through like the steps of grief and you were like, you got to acceptance and you were like, I've got 3 months, I'm okay with my mortality, made peace with the world and just like lived your life, it might be very liberating.
Do you think it would help or hurt with the ladies?
That would probably help, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah. You're you get sympathy.
Maybe.
But you're not really getting around for a long-term relationship.
Exactly.
I'm sure lots of women would be coming to me demanding my seed. Because they're like,
you can't let that die. Well, but then you're genetically defective, though, because whatever illness you have that's going to kill you in 3 years.
This is a brain tumor that's
months,
like a genetic problem.
It's some sort of congenital heart defect or something, so they don't want to breed with you.
As far as like anything, I can't think of anything besides going to all the states. I might like
That's
go.
really sad to me.
I maybe go to the provinces of Canada too.
No. Manitoba.
I'd love to go to Manitoba. I probably would spend my time going to places I'd never been before. Because that's what I get. I think that's one of the things in life that gives me pleasure now.
See, I would be annoyed because I'd go someplace I'd never been.
Yeah.
I'd really enjoy it. And I'd be like, well, fuck. This is it. I'd never been here before, so I didn't know what I was missing. Now I do know what I was missing. And now I know I'm going to die, and I'm never going to be able to experience it again. So what I might do is just gather up into a little ball and get no stimulation, because then I wouldn't miss my life afterwards.
But that's completely stupid. You're not going to have a good time because you're sad. You're not going to have a good time after you die, so you're just not going to have a good time at all.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't care.
I'm
allowed to be crazy. I only
What's
have
the
3
thing
months to
about
live.
going to new places, though, right? You're like, now I'm sad because I can't come back to this new place, but it's not a new place anymore. So you just buzz through a bunch of new places.
Yeah.
Yeah, see some new stuff. Why not? Sounds great right now, actually. Why can't I get this diagnosis?
Maybe I'd have a couple kids. Well, I wouldn't have them in 3 months, but
If that was put on the table by someone, they're like, I think Brad Victor needs to like go on in the next generation.
Yeah.
I think it's important. Would you like impregnate a woman?
yeah, why not?
Really?
Yeah. Fuck it.
Well, probably would it depend on the woman?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
If she was like a flighty person, you probably wouldn't do it, right?
Well, I
you
would
want to
have-
leave your seed with this woman.
yeah, I mean, because obviously
Your spawn.
my child is already going to hate my memory because I knew I was going to die and I impregnated somebody, which is a fairly irresponsible thing to do. So the wife, or not the wife, but the prospective mother would have to at least be the kind of person who I thought might actually be able to care for the child.
Yes.
Without my steady hand there to help her.
Like if it was some movie star, Elizabeth Taylor or something. I don't know. Someone wealthy.
She's dead.
Yeah, she's probably not gonna. What's her name? Jodie Foster, maybe.
Jodie Foster. What do you get?
Yeah,
Jodie
she's very
Foster?
wealthy. She's
Isn't
all
she
she
a
does is
lesbian?
raise. Yeah, but she has kids.
Yeah.
So you could.
That's
like,
actually perfect because she needs seed from
Yes.
people. Yeah.
That'd be weird. Talking about the
You don't
weird-
have to actually have
a
sex.
weird conclusion of your like life is the fact the only thing that's left behind of you is the fact that Jodie Foster is like raising your child.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll write a letter.
Actually, now that I think I would want to leave a baby. I might be selfish.
Well, now you have a girlfriend too. How would she react if she knew that you only had 3 months to
I don't
live?
think she'd be like, there's no baby, and I'd be like, all right, fine,
Really?
yeah, yeah, that's
She wouldn't
true.
want a little Warren to remember you by?
No. I don't think she's going to like ruin her life because I'm going to die in 3 months.
Do you think she would just like dump you right away? It's like, fuck, I can't deal with 3 months of
Oh
this
no,
bullshit.
I don't think she's that kind of person. What kind of person does that?
She'd probably want to, but she would feel guilted into like, if I dump him, then I'm an asshole.
Well, that's the thing.
so I'm
That
gonna
is true, though, right?
Yeah.
Because even if you did feel that impulse, there's no way you can do that. And and what are you going to do for the next, 3 months? And everyone's like, God, why aren't you hanging out with him anymore? You're like, well,
he's going to die.
He's going to die in 3 months. So I'm like trying to find a new boyfriend right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hang out with me. Oh, it's a sad tale of woe.
Oh, well, let's just hope it doesn't happen. So I guess that's all the time we have for this episode of the Warren and Bradley Show. Don't forget to tune in next week. And as we said before, if you want to enter your beard into the Beard Off 2012, go ahead and write to podcast@warrenandbradley.com, subject Beard Off. Also, just get in touch with us for any sort of general inquiries, comments, or concerns. Also, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Warren and Bradley.
And keep your eyes on the ground and your face in the stars.
You did it, finally.
That was completely wrong.
No, it was?
Eyes on the ground and face in the stars.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
All right.
All right.
This has been the Warren and Bradley Show, brought to you by Warren Van and Bradley Victor. For podcast news and information, like the show on Facebook at facebook.com/Warren and Bradley. Follow the show on Twitter at Warren and Brad. Subscribe on iTunes and leave a review. For episode archives and episode pictures, go to warrenandbradley.com, and to contact the show, write to podcast@warrenandbradley.com. The views expressed on the Warren and Bradley Show are not necessarily those held by the hosts, Warren and Bradley, nor those of the proprietors of the website, warrenandbradley.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire!
Let's make some magic.
It is magic time. Hello, and welcome once again to the Warren and Bradley Show. I'm one of your hosts, Bradley Victor.
I'm the other host, Warren Van.
Yes, indeed. It is episode 25 of the Warren and Bradley Show. We'll have a packed show for all of you here today. Looks like we might have a little That's How Women Are, Warren.
Oh, good.
Maybe a Street Freak of the Week.
Oh, fabulous.
And we might premiere a new feature for the audience. Ooh, they're going to be very excited about that. I was here in the Warren and Bradley studios, patiently waiting for Warren to show up to record the podcast. Where were you at, Warren? What took you so long?
I was celebrating Mother's Day. My brother-in-law, Ethan, fan of the show, wanted me to send a shout-out to him. So this is your shout-out.
Hey, Ethan.
Yes.
So he wanted to send a shout-out to himself.
Yeah, that's true. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think he just wanted his name mentioned on the podcast.
What a megalomaniac.
His name has been mentioned now. Yes, I hung out at my sister's, and we played a little croquet.
Croquet, nice.
Sat around and looked at magazines for a while, kicked a ball around for the dog. We threw a frisbee for a while, and the frisbees eventually went over the fence, and we couldn't get them.
You looked at a magazine
We were
during
looking
the
at
family
Sunset.
gathering, and then basically, I think she's just thrilled to see us all in one place.
I
the
didn't
same
really thought
time.
about this before, but the fact that I have some siblings, you have more siblings than me.
Yeah.
None of us have any children.
No.
So our parents have no grandchildren.
No.
No kids.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever going to happen.
No.
I won't get into all the personal details of everyone in my family, but it doesn't look very likely at all right now. I still think that I might have kids eventually. I can't really imagine the set of circumstances that would have to be in place for that actually to happen, but it's just sort of in the air. I could see that maybe.
Yeah, it could happen potentially. But I think probably in the past, if we were our age, if you were your father or I was my father, we would be celebrating our wife at this point with our children. That's how we would celebrate our Mother's Day usually.
Yeah.
But since we have this sort of prolonged adolescence that we're going through.
Yeah, my dad had 3 or 4 kids by my age.
Yeah, so now we go.
And the oldest was a teenager. I think that's it's just a trend of modern society.
Yes.
People wait way longer to have kids if they do have kids. And, and we've talked about this before. We are men, so we could be 50 and have a child if we wanted to. It's not a big deal. I'm sure my mom is hoping she's still alive by the time one of us has a kid.
When we're getting 50, they're getting pretty old at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents are younger than yours, but
Yeah, I think that's right.
because they had children when they're like 20. Ridiculous.
I was thinking about this the other day. That if I had like a child when I was 16, the child would be like graduating from high school this year.
Yeah.
Which is just a fascinating thing to think about.
Yeah, it's weird to think of having a child that is the age at which you could start considering them to be sexually attractive. Not that you would.
That went a weird direction.
Not that you would consider your own child sexually attractive, but you don't know how old people are. I'm digging myself a hole here.
Yeah.
You don't know how old people are when they're walking around. You see someone who's like 18, and you're like, yeah, she's attractive.
Yeah,
But you're not thinking, oh, I might potentially date that person or anything. But, it's sexual maturity, yada, yada, yada.
Yes, okay.
And so, yeah, if we have mentioned this before, I think, that if we had kids as soon as we were physically able to have kids, our kids would be at that age.
Yeah.
So you would potentially be hitting on my daughter. Or it's probably more likely the other way around. But,
yeah.
yeah.
That's weird thing to think about.
So this isn't the Street Freak of the Week that I've selected for Street Freak of the Week, but I had an interesting experience today. I was after the Mother's Day lunch that I had.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful day, so I thought I'd wander around a bit. I got some coffee and was wandering around downtown. I have this kind of strange habit of just standing on corners and staring at people while they walk
nice.
by.
Yeah.
Not like a homeless person does. But maybe that is why I encounter so many homeless people, because I'm in
their spot.
I'm in their environment, yeah. But actually, I went into the fish store to go look at some fish.
Oh, yeah.
Not dead fish, but live fish.
Yes.
I like to do that.
Not the
occasionally.
fishmonger, the actual pet store.
And I was in there, they have dozens and dozens of tanks. They have the salt water and the fresh water and blah, blah, blah. And I was checking out an eel, a freshwater eel I was looking at.
Really?
He's like, oh, come out of your log, you bastard. And he would like peek his head out every once in a while. And I was just like waiting for him to come out. And then this crazy homeless dude who I'm sure you've probably seen around town wandered into the store.
Yeah.
He used to dress in exceedingly tight jeans, almost as tight as the jeans I wear.
Oh, my.
And would often go shirtless with a rakish jean jacket. Had kind of a white man's blonde afro, sort of like Hotel California era Eagles Don Henley.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen him around.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
But today he was wearing kind of baggier pants, and he had a blue windbreaker, still with no shirt on underneath, and just open.
Yeah.
He wandered in. He walked up to one of the fish tanks near me and started tapping on the glass.
Don't do that. You're not supposed to do that.
I'm like, come on, dude, tapping on the glass, and I could see the fish like freaking out in there because they have their lateral line sensory organ that gets freaked out with any kind of pulses going through the water. And so I was getting irritated by this. So I went, and he didn't pay any attention. He kept just still tapping the glass. So I said, you know what? Don't tap the glass. They don't like that.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? Like, the fish. It actually causes them pain. They don't like the glass to be tapped like that. It's like, he tapped it some more. I'm like, no, seriously, stop tapping the glass.
Oh.
Fine, fucking fish. And then he flipped off the fish in the fish tank.
Oh, he flipped the fish off.
Oh, yeah, he was angry at the fish. And then after this exchange, which was not at all pleasant.
No.
Like, he could tell that I was angry at him.
Yes.
And he was being a little dick to me.
Yeah.
He then asked me if I had any money. He proceeded to show me a little wad of bills that he had collected and said that he only needed $3 more to buy some weed.
Huh. So you thought you were just going to give him $3 after that?
And so I gave him the whole, I don't have any change right now.
You say you just had your debit card?
I didn't say it this time. I just said I didn't have any change. And he's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And he wandered out. And I thought, okay, whatever. Walked outside and was standing on the corner, smoking, drinking coffee, staring at people going by. He walked up again, but this time there was a bike cop right next to me. He was like fiddling with his little bicycle. It was so hilarious.
It's very condescending.
Hey, stop you. And he came up to me again and said, I'm still
magazine for a while. Everyone's just kind of looking at it.
Like everyone is a family gathered around.
There are a bunch
Sunset
of them.
magazine.
People were just like picking them up, just like looking at the magazine as we were spending time together.
Was your mother the only mother present at the Mother's Day celebration?
She was the only mother present, yes.
So that was all about her.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. So did she have a fulfilling Mother's Day? Did she?
I think she had a fine time. Yeah, she had some flowers. We had some chicken burgers that were good.
No.
I ate some chips. I drank some soda, which I don't usually do. they have these smaller sodas now. Have you seen these? I don't know if they're like 6 ounces or 8 ounces.
the little
or something.
cans?
Yeah, the little cans.
Yeah.
So I drank some of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those were pretty good.
I'm a fan of those. That's a normal serving to me.
Well, that's what I feel like. Sometimes if I like had a can of soda, I wouldn't like crack it open because that's more than I need to drink.
Right. And you can't put it in the fridge because it
just goes flat and it gets gross. So it's like, I think if I had some of those in my house maybe and I had a meal, I might crack one of those open and drink some soda once in a while.
You know, that is why I drink one of the reasons why I love Dr. Pepper so much.
Yes.
I don't know, it's like a monster truck going by on the street outside. Because it is one of the few sodas that you can crack open, drink a little bit, put in the fridge, and when you drink it again, even if it's a little flat, it doesn't ruin the taste like a bunch of other sodas.
Really? You feel that way? It's about Dr. Pepper?
Oh, yeah. Dr. Pepper is the perfect soda. Yeah, I had a little Mother's Day gathering for mine as well. Some of the siblings took her out to lunch. My other one fucked off to Seattle.
Who did?
My older brother.
Oh, really?
He couldn't be bothered being in town for Mother's Day.
Oh, he's a listener of the show. We should shame him.
He's
shame on you.
And then when I was waiting for you, I was working on a bumper for one of our new segments, which will premiere later, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, this is exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. Did your mother have a good Mother's Day?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of, we've gone past the point of flowers and cards, and now it's just we take her out to a meal, and we pay for it.